Now, rural counties are not immune to the coronavirus pandemic. Val Verde County is now preparing for the possibility of a spike in cases after 5 cases were confirmed this week. But as Eyewitness News reporter Vanessa Croy explains, this border county is taking a proactive approach in trying to slow the spread of the virus.
We are a rural community, population of about 50,000 in the county.
As the coronavirus pandemic surges across the world,
It's changed our lives just like it has everybody else.
rural communities like Val Verde County are trying to adjust with less resources.
I think the issues that we're facing here, we are sort of so far away from everything.
County Judge Lewis Owen said they've already seen a lack of testing kits. Owen said the Val Verde Regional Medical Center has been preparing for a mass outbreak of the virus. But he's afraid they'll run out of protective gear for medical staff and other equipment needed to treat dozens of patients at one time.
But we don't have the ventilators. We don't have that equipment here if something was to happen in masses.
But Owen said they're taking other proactive measures to prevent the community spread of the virus across the county. Limiting the number of customers in grocery stores, enforcing a curfew for young people, and passing out disinfectant to residents for free.
And we handed out 9,000 gallons yesterday.
The bleach solution was first developed to use in the oil fields.
It's a mobile bleach factory, so that factory could be taken out to a frac and disinfect large quantities of water.
Denora Neptune President Alex Gonzalez said the mobile treatment units have been deployed to Fort Bend County and most recently Val Verde.
The CDC has released through all its documentations that an effective method for killing viruses and bacteria is bleach.
A line of cars wrapped around the Val Verde County Fairgrounds this week to pick up the bleach solution.
The sodium hypochlorite will kill bacteria and viruses on contact.
Owen said county and city leaders are trying to tackle the coronavirus threat any way they can.
Realistically, if we had an outbreak like what you have in New York, there's no way. But at the end of the day, we're doing everything possible to make sure that we're going to be prepared.
Gonzalez said they made around 18,000 gallons of the disinfectant to distribute to people here in Val Verde County. That mobile treatment unit has now moved to Maverick County, where it will be until early next week. Reporting in Del Rio, Vanessa Croy, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.